What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mel here in our review, and today I'll be talking about my thoughts on another Star Wars spin-off series from Disney Plus, this time connecting to The Mandalorian after the events of Season 2. More specifically, the Book of Boba Fett. First premiered from December 29th of 2021 until February 9th, 2022, which ran for 7 episodes. And everybody know, before we begin, did you subscribe? Did you hit the bell? If so, what do you choose? Wealth or power or respect? You may only choose one, but choose wisely. If you choose the wrong one, you'll soon regret it. So yeah, to make things short, The Book of Boba Fett is an American space western television series created by Jon Favreau for the streaming service Disney Plus. And it's a spin-off series from of The Mandalorian, taking place in the same time frame, and its other interconnected spin-offs after the events of Return of the Jedi. The Book of Boba Fett follows the famed bounty hunter Boba Fett at the events of The Mandalorian Season 2, as he established himself as the new crime lord of Jabba the Hutt's former territory on Tatooine. Temuera Morrison reprises his role as the famed bounty hunter. If you recall, he played many roles. He especially played Boba Fett's father, Jango Fett, in Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Also, we have Ming-Na Wen, reprising her role as Fennec Shand, as Boba Fett's second in command. And also Pedro Pascal returning as the Mandalorian for the final 3 episodes of the series, which leads to Season 3. All reprise their roles from The Mandalorian and other Star Wars media. A standalone Star Wars film centered on Boba Fett was in early development by Lucasfilm before the company began prioritizing streaming series such as The Mandalorian. A potential spin-off series was first reported back in November 2020 and was officially announced in December. This was during the time they officially announced it in the final episode for Season 2, where Boba Fett and Fennec Shand returned to Tatooine, and Boba Fett killing Bib Fortuna, declare himself the new Daiymo of Tatooine, with the most badass intro and ending ever. Which, when we all saw that, it was pretty damn good. Filming began around and lasted until June of 2021. In addition, Favreau, Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy, and Colin Wilson returned from The Mandalorian as executive producers and are joined by Robert Rodriguez, who directed 3 episodes. The Book of Boba Fett premiered on December 29th of 2021, ran for 7 episodes until February 9th of 2022. The series received mixed reviews from critics who praised the performance of Morrison and Wren, action sequences, visual effects, cinematography, musical score, but criticized the writing, storyline, pacing, and characterization of Boba Fett. Which, people kind of remember from Boba Fett being the mysterious guy who really talks a lot. Here, you see Boba Fett is more talkative. Well, too short. As for the premise, Boba Fett and Fennec Shand attempt to make a name for themselves in the galaxy's underworld by taking over territory once controlled by Jabba the Hutt. As you know, we have, as returning cast, we have Temuera Morrison as Boba Fett, the newest Daiymo of Tatooine, the former bounty hunter and clone of his father, Jango Fett, which we know. And also the series had an opportunity to explore the character's past and show what happened to him between the events of Return of the Jedi and the second season of The Mandalorian. Which, of course, he focuses on Fett's simmering kind of violence and desire for revenge as well as his loneliness that was caused by watching his father get executed at a young age, which was during the Attack of the Clones at the hands of Jedi Master Mace Windu. This plays tonight into the idea that he finds a new family in a tribe of Tusken Raiders in the series, which archived footage of Daniel Logan as a young Fett, filmed for Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones, was used while Finnegan Gary served as the on-set actor for young Fett. Morrison also voiced the clone troopers in Grogu's Order 66 flashback. Yeah, he voiced one of the clones from the 501st. And also returning, we have Ming-Na Wen as Fennec Shand, the elite mercenary and assassin in Fett's service. And also Pedro Pascal returning as the Din Djarin, aka the Mandalorian, the Bane bounty hunter who Fett and Shand previously assisted on his quest. Also, we have other characters as well. We have Matt Berry as the voice of AD-8, a torture droid in Fett's service. If you don't know that type of droid, this droid appeared in Episode 6 in Return of the Jedi. He was Jabba's torture droid when he was examining R2 and C-3PO. Well, technically, this droid is a she, I think. Which you recall, good. New acquisitions. You are a protocol droid, are you not? Our master has been out since our last protocol droid angered him, and he's been disintegrated. If you heard that line, you are a feisty little one, but you learn some respect. If you recall that droid is nasty. Also, we have David Pasquise as the Twi'lek Major Domo to Mok Shaiz, the mayor of Mos Espa on Tatooine. Jennifer Beals as Garza Flip, the Twi'lek who runs the cantina Mos Espa, called the Sanctuary. We have Kerry Jones. If you don't remember him, Kerry Jones took over the role of Chewbacca for Peter Mayhew after he retired from the role. He finally officially passed that role to him. He's been playing Chewbacca from Episode 8, Episode 9, and also on the Han Solo film. Here he plays Black Chrysanthemum, a Wookiee bounty hunter and former gladiator. If you don't know who he is, Black Chrysanthemum appeared in the comic books. But specifically, he fought Obi-Wan on Tatooine where he got a scar on his left eye. So that's where he got the scar from fight with Obi-Wan, which people didn't know that. And which, of course, Chrysanthemum worked for the twins, who are Jabba the Hutt's cousins, before being hired by Fett. We have Sophie Thatcher as Drash, the leader of a group of cyborgs who work for Fett. Well, upgraded the mods, who are people making upgrades of themselves. We have Jordan Bulger as Scad, a member of the group of mods who work for Fett. As for co-stars, we have Stefan Root as Lorfall Peel, a watermonger in the workers' district of Mos Espa. And of course, the one and only Danny Trejo as the Rancor trainer. Which, he only appeared once, but come on, people. Bring more Danny Trejo. Him as a Rancor trainer, that is awesome. Once oh hell yeah, he's training Rancors now. Who was he Danny Trejo training Rancors? That looks like him right now. And we also have Stephen Thundercat Broner as the mod artist, who's an artist Mos Eisley, and also the one who saved the lives of Fennec Shand and Vanth using cybernetic implant parts. We have also Emmy Swallow returning as the Armorer, making her a small appearance. I think it was around Episode 6 where she appeared when she also she told the famous story of the Night of the Thousand Tears, The Purge, with Amy Sedaris as Peli Moto, as the mechanic who runs the hangar in Mos Eisley, and also the return of Timothy Oliphant as Cobb Vanth, the Marshal of Freetown, formerly Mos Pelgo, who wore Boba Fett's armor. Also, we have Rosario Dawson returning as Ahsoka Tano, she only appeared in one episode, I think it was episode 6, because episode 5? It's quite confusing, actually. I think it was like, okay. I don't know which episode she appeared on the planet where Luke was training Grogu. Where Din Djarin went there to give Grogu the armor. And also we have Corey Burnett as the voice of Cad Bane. Which, of course, if you don't remember that name, Cad Bane made his first appearance in the final episode, season 1 episode of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, where he held the Senate hostage, demanding the freedom of Zero the Hutt. Which, of course, led to some shenanigans. Explain how the whole thing started with Cad Bane became a regular villain in the Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and was thought to be dead there was a famous unfinished animated version of the Star Wars: Clone Wars where we see the famous duel between Boba Fett and Cad Bane, where Boba Fett got that dent on his helmet and Bane was supposed to be shot dead. And again, he returned in the Bad Batch, kidnapping Omega, and this is the first time we see him since the Bad Batch. Also, we have Mark Hamill returning as Luke Skywalker. This time only, by vocals, because as with his de-aged appearance in Mandalorian, Skywalker largely created new visual effects, synchronized speech based on the image and recordings, respectively by Graham Hamilton, was on set for the character performance. Oh boy. Additionally, director Robert Rodriguez voices the Trandoshan crime boss, Doc Strazzi, physically betrayed by Stephen Oyong, the Lethean mayor of Mos Espa, Mok Shaiz. Frank Trigg and Colin Hine portrayed the two Gomorian guards in Fett's service. Mandy Kowalski and Skylar Brado appear as Cammy Marstrap and Lays Fixer Lunzer, respectively, characters originally portrayed by Koo Stark and Anthony Forrest. In a deleted scene from Star Wars Episode 4. This was at the shit, I forgot the name of this place where Luke... Okay, this was the deleted scene where Luke spotted the faint space battle between the Tantive Leia's blockade runner and the Star Destroyer above Tatooine. And he goes to the Tashi station where these two are actually there. And the fun fact is... Here's a fun fact. Which, of course, let's see, Mandy betrayed Cammy Marstrap, which, fun fact, Luke was actually in love with Cammy Marstrap before, I think, after he went to join the rebellions. I don't know what happened. Back to what? We have Max Lloyd Jones, who serves as Luke's stand-in in The Mandalorian, appears as Lieutenant Reed. W. Earl Brown also reprised his role as Tanti, the Weequah proprietor of Freetown. Also returning from The Mandalorian is Grogu, who was previously guarded by Din Djarin. Skywalker's droid R2 also appears. Sam Wither, who is the voice actor for Darth Maul in previous Star Wars media, was uncredited as the voice of Rodian Prisoner, which, oh boy, frequent Star Wars voice actors Stephen Stanton provided uncredited voices of the Pike Traveler, with Alfred Hitch performing on set. Wow. That's a lot of homework, isn't it? So yeah, what's this series about? Well, it takes place around after the events of Season 2 of the Book of Mandalorian. We see Boba Fett. We see the glimpse of Jabba's palace, now owned by Boba Fett. We slowly see the interior of the palace. And so we see a Boba Fett in a bacta chamber, healing up, and soon we get flashbacks of him as a boy on Kamino, and also witnessing the death of his father on Geonosis, glancing on his helmet. So we're now inside the Sarlacc's stomach during the time of Return of the Jedi. We see him inside the Sarlacc trying to find a way to get out. He spotted a dead stormtrooper and managed to use the air hose to breathe in his oxygen. Busted through the stomach and used his flamethrower to manage to get out. Soon he managed to dig himself out from the sand, until he was left unconscious, severely wounded due to the acid he had to breathe in. Until one night, a group of Jawas came to scavenge the wreck of the sail barge and encountered Boba Fett lying there. If you recall, if you see the sail barge during the day, well, the wreck is still smoking, which means it has to be around. He managed to get out, like, I don't know how many hours passed since after the Battle of the Sarlacc Pit, the Pit of Carcoon. I don't know. So the Jawas start to remove Boba Fett's armor until Boba Fett wakes up, notices it. He grabbed one of the Jawas, but one of the Jawas managed to knock him out with the butt of their rifle, leaving him there for dead. Soon a group of Tusken Raiders finds them and takes them to their camp. That's when he starts to, let's just say, enjoy the hospitality of the Tuskens, aka tied up the whole time. He tried to escape until one of the Tuskens' mighty warrior challenged him for escape, which of course he failed. 5 years later, he wakes up, and of course, Fennec Shand say she knows the dreams are back, which of course he's healing because we tell he's the scars from the Sarlacc, from the acid from the Sarlacc pit. Of course, Fennec Shand has taken control of Jabba's criminal empire on Tatooine, which of course they are receiving tributes from the local dignitaries. And according to the Gamorrean guards, they were once in Jabba's service. Fennec Shand visits the sanctuary at Mos Espa, run by Guards of Whip, of course, paying tribute as well. Outside the cantina, they were ambushed by assassins, and of course, Shand captures one of them, but fortunately, Boba Fett took some injuries from the assassins, which of course, he's back in the tank, and also he starts having flashbacks again. Him and a Rodian are taken to the desert along with a young Tusken child, the dig for black melons. Of course, they witness a ambush of speeder bikers attacking a moisture farmer. Soon as they start digging, they encounter a large sand creature which killed the Rodian. Boba Fett managed to save the child and kill him, which of course the Tusken child earning the respect of the tribe, which ends there for episode 1, which is called Strangers in a Strange Land. This was directed by Robert Rodriguez. The next one is called The Tribes of Tatooine, which is chapter 2. It's directed by Seth Green. Fett and Shand interrogate the captured assassin, which is known as the Assassins of the Night Wind, which are assassins for hire, which of course Fennec starts to make fun of them, say too expensive, which of course they try to get something out of him, but fortunately he couldn't, so of course Fennec just says maybe he's afraid of the Rancor, which of course she pressed the button, which sends him to the Rancor pit until The assassin confesses the mayor sent him, which of course she says the pit is empty because the Rancor is being killed by Luke, if you recall from Return of the Jedi. Soon they visit the mayor, Mok Shaiz, the mayor of Mos Espa. Shaiz denies, but offers payment to Fess for the capture of the assassin, and suggests to visit the sanctuary again. Fripp informs Fett that two of Jabba's cousins, known as the twins, want to stick their claims to Jabba's territory themselves. Soon, you see everybody gone dead silent. You see Garza Flip eyes go to the entrance, and everybody stops. All the droid band stop playing. We see Max 3 will stop as well, including his band. Everybody's looking outside, which of course to see the caravan of the Hutt twins arriving, which of course the twins announce that that they hear the claim Jabba's territory, which of course Boba Fett announced that this is his territory. He's Daiymo, and soon they bring out their Wookiee bounty hunter Black Chrysanthemum to intimidate Boba Fett, which of course refuses, which he says, "You can bring as much gladiators as you want, but I'm Daiymo here, so leave." Which of course, back in the back of the tank, Boba Fett remembers when he was being taught by the Tuskens how of their fighting styles in the desert. Which of course, during the time, they encountered a spice train run by the Pike Syndicates, and this ain't the first time we met the Pikes, because the first time the Pikes appeared was in Clone Wars, where Maul and Savage, along with Death Watch, are trying to build a criminal empire to overtake Mandalore. And they were the last to arrive because, well, just say they're more smarter than wait for Maul and Savage to arrive the homeworld of Adia. Which, of course, Boba Fett managed to steal some speed bikers from nearby Nikto gang at the Tashi station. Which, of course, he managed to teach the Tuskens how to ride them and also how to survive. Which, of course, they managed to stop the train, get their supplies, weapons, and all cool. Which, of course, during the ceremony, he's now been accepted into the tribe. One day, Fett. Now we're in chapter 3, where it's called The Streets of Mos Espa, where this is directed by Jon Favreau. Robert Rodriguez. Fett is asked by a watermonger named Lorfa Peel, the punch gang of cyborgs who are stealing his water, and Mos Espa claiming that the citizens of Tatooine do not respect Fett yet. Upon seeing the gang have no work, both employs the mods as enforcers and demand that Peel reduce his price. In his back to tank, Fett recalls seeking the toll from the Pike Syndicate on behalf of the Tuskens, only to find the tribe after talking with the representative of the Pike Syndicate that the Nikto spy gang have been there, which of course Fett said that the Tusken Raiders have claimed to the Tatooine since the water have dried out. Which I like that small little detail right there, since it refers to what happened. Tatooine has been a planet full of water before it was turned to a desert. Soon, as he returned back to the tribe, he sees smoke until, to his shock, the tribe has been annihilated by Nikto's gangs on his return. His memories are interrupted when Fett is attacked by Chrysanthemum, which of course Fett, Shan, and the guards and the mods fight off and captured the Wookiee. In the morning, while on the table eating, they were planning the next move until one of the droid said that the twins have arrived, which of course soon apologized for sending Chrysanthemum, claiming that the mayor has promised Jabba's territory because they say that that the mayor promised Jabba's territory to another syndicate, which of course the twins vowed to leave Tatooine and gift him a Rancor to Fett. After releasing Chrysanthemum and resolving to train the Rancor, Fett goes to Mos Espa with Fennec Shand and the Mods to question Shaiz. They found out the mayor is absent, but chase down his major domo, which revealed that Mok Shaiz is working for the Pike Syndicate. Later, a transport ship arriving, and a group of Pikes has soon arrived at Mos Espa at the spaceport, which of course Boba Fett has to be prepared for war. And then came Chapter 4, The Gathering Storm, directed by Kevin Tegron. Is back to tank. Fett remembers trying to claim his ship, his fire spray gunship, the Slave One from Jabba's palace, which is heavily guarded and now controlled by Bit Fortuna. When he discovers a dying Fennec Shand with a gut wound, and this was around season 1, Fett took her to a Mos Eisley mob parlor where he saved her life with cybernetics. In return, Fett requested Shand's help to help bring it to the palace, now ruled by Bib Fortuna. After fighting the guards and returning to his ship, Shand decides to stay with Fett. First, they killed the biker gang that Fett believed that massacred his Tusken tribe. Then, they fight to the Sarlacc pit to trade his armor. Shand killed the attacking Sarlacc with a seismic charge, while Boba Fett went inside the Sarlacc pit, but he couldn't find him. But of course, he's covered in stone acid, which he has to wash down with water. Fett emerges from the back to tank. Okay, so we see him with a flashback of him killing Bib Fortuna and claiming the throne for himself. Now we have a scene where he's now fully healed. He witnesses Chrysanthemum fighting at Trandoshans in the sanctuary and hires him. At a banquet, he urges Mos Espa's other crime bosses to unite against the Pikes, which at first they refuse, but until they notice there's a Rancor under them, as they decide to join him, this time to remain neutral. Well, he fight the syndicates alone. As the other bosses leave, they watch as they leave. Shand suggests that a higher muscle, which money can buy muscle, and soon we hear the Mandalorian theme playing. And soon we hit to Chapter 5, The Return of the Mandalorian, directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, and we takes off where Din Djarin is now. Din Djarin, after he tracks and kills a bounty, he delivers the head for a direction, this creature, I don't know what, to a planet, it's like a ring planet, asking where is the Mandalorian hideout. Soon fortunately he injured himself with the Darksaber after he tried to use it. So he finds the armor and Paz Vizsla, survivor of their tribe of Mandalore from Navarro. Of course, when the owner asks what kind of injury he had done to his leg, he shows the Darksaber, which of course she asks Paz to bring it to her to see it. Which of course mentioned that after millennia, which of course, yeah, during the time, which of course, after Din Djarin mentioned he completed his mission, she tells him he's welcome to their covert, to rebuild their covert. Soon, they started moving a forge, hooking it up, getting prepared. When Paz asked where he got the Darksaber, Mando mentioned he defeated Moff Gideon. He asked if he killed him. He said no, he was taken to the New Republic for questioning, which of course Paz says it's better off him being killed. For which the armor backs up, saying it's true because the blood of their people is on his hands. Which of course Mando talks about Bo-Katan Kryze, which of course she mentioned is a cautionary tale to those who don't follow the way of the Mandalore, especially the right of the saber. It was given to her by he didn't win it, but it was given her because ruled by blood. She mentioned that if their sect was not on the moon of Concordia, they would have been wiped out in the Night of the Thousand Tears, which we got a flashback. We see a whole fleet of TIE bombers dropping plasma bombs on the surface of Mandalore and destroying one of the domes one of the Mandalorian domes where the city is. And so we got this apocalyptic scene where we see these droids. You know, the droids from Rogue One. I forget the name of this type of droid that has been reprogrammed to help Rogue Squadron. That kind of droid, including we see pro droids as well, scam rings for survivors to be annihilated, which of course, that's a bit dark. Soon, and also, Jin Darn gives the armor of the Beskar spear, since she told him that this Beskar spear is way more dangerous since it also pierces Beskar armor. So he gave her the spear to turn into armor. And guess who he's going to give the armor to? Grogu. Which, of course, unfortunately, during he being trained by the armor, how to use the lightsaber, Paz Vizsla challenges Jar Jar for the saber since he's a descendant of Tar Vizsla. Then defeats Vizsla, but fortunately reveals that he previously broke the code of removing his helmet, and he's forced to be out as a apostate from the tribe, which takes a commercial transport to meet Peli on Tatooine. Which, of course, he came to see her because of a new ship. He needs a new ship, which to replace his ship, the Ridge Crest. And what she got him? An N1 Naboo Starfighter. At first, he didn't like it. Soon, they start working, fixing it up, and testing out which he actually likes it. When he came back, Peli mentioned someone was here to see him, which he didn't care until guess who appeared? Fennec Shand, right? Sitting in a box where Peli thought she had all security, but no. You don't mess this, Master Assassin. Well, of course, Fennec Shand arrives next to John for assists Boba Fett in his upcoming war, which he agrees only after he visits a friend. Soon we arrive at Chapter 6, but from the desert comes a stranger. And this is directed by Dave Filoni. And written by John Favreau and Dave Filoni. We can see a group of Pikes doing some deals with spies until we see Cobb Vanth arriving, which of course confronts the Pikes, telling them to get rid of their drugs, but unfortunately they try to shoot him, but they failed, and two end up being dead, except for one, which he tells them that his superiors, that Freetown is drug-free. Which, of course, since he managed to destroy the spice. Then John arrives at the Forested World, where he can see Grogu, which, of course, he's greeted by R2, which, of course, he shows him where... At first, he follows Grogu until these giant ant-like droids carrying stones building this... what's soon to be Luke's Jedi Temple, which is the one we saw in the flashbacks from episode 7 and 8. The one that was destroyed by his nephew, Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren, in the prequel series. Soon, but R2 deactivated himself to save battery, and of course, one of the droids made a bench for him, so he just rests there for a bit. Soon, we see Grogu being trained by Luke, meditating, but Grogu gets distracted by frogs, which of course Luke scolds him, but then he manages to force to bring a whole bunch of frogs. I made like memes like, why one when you could have all the frogs? Which, yeah. Soon they go for a walk. This is where Luke talks about Grogu, about Yoda being the same species as him, which of course talk about the way he talks, saying, size matters not, which of course is a recall to episode 5 where Yoda lifts Luke's X-Wing from the swamp waters of Dagobah after he sank. Soon, because Luke asks if Grogu remembers home, he uses the Force to help Grogu remember, which of course Grogu remembers his home at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, where he saw many of the Jedi being killed during Order 66, and his allies discuss their manpower shortage. Which, of course, he witnesses the Jedi being cut down by the 501st. Fun fact, those were not digital 501st. They were actually the members of the 501st Legion Club offering to dress up as the members of the Clone Troop, but it was actually... But fun fact, these were actually voiced by Tamora Morrison, some more like the Clone Troopers. Which is actually pretty cool to see actual Clone Troopers again. So, we see Grogu waking up, which of course, yeah, they start doing their training thing, jumping around. Which of course, we see Luke carrying Grogu just like he did with Yoda on Dagobah in episode 5. As for Mando, he's just resting. R2 wakes up, which of course, Mando gets spooked. He pulls out a blaster, but it turns out to be Ahsoka standing right there. Which of course, he asks her what she's doing here. She's asking the same thing because she says she's friends with the family. Which of course, remember, she knows Luke's father and mother back in the old days, before the dark times, before the Empire. Mando said because he's here to see him. Which, of course, Ahsoka reminded him about the warning she told him about attachments. Of course, he just wants to give him this gift. Soon, he's about to leave, but tells Ahsoka to give him the gift, which he agrees. We see Luke teaching Grogu of dodging that, which, of course, turns out Ahsoka appears. Which, of course, Luke knows that the Mandalorian was here. And Ahsoka tells he brought a gift as well, which of course he questions Grogu's in the right place. Which of course Ahsoka comments, "You're much like your father," which of course he gives him a certain look because remember Luke does remind Ahsoka of her former master. Actually, about to leave, Luke asks if he goes see her again, and she says perhaps. And may the Force be with you, which of course is a touching scene right there. Soon, Mando returns to Tatooine and heads for the palace, where he meets up with the rest during the planning of the invasion of the war between the Pike Syndicate. But first, he visits Freetown to hire more guns, so he goes to Vaneth and his people to help more manpower, which he agrees. As he leaves, that's when he notices a mysterious person walking towards the town, which Cobb Vanth knows is trouble. It tells everybody to get inside quickly, and guess who it is? Cad Bane. Which, of course, he's hired on behalf of the Pikes to order the town to be neutral in the upcoming war. Which, of course, due to his deputy being an idiot, Cobb Vanth is mortally wounded and his deputy is shot dead. Which, of course, things will go bad to worse when two Pikes arrive at the sanctuary, leaving one of these weird buckets, like ice cream maker types, which of course ends up blowing up the sanctuary, killing Gosha Flop and everybody in it. So we meet Luke in the finished temple, the centerpiece, talking to Grogu, bearing a gift from the Mandalorian, but he has a choice, only one choice. If he takes the armor and chain down and stop his training, or take Yoda's lightsaber and be trained as the Jedi and be the first of Luke's pupils. Which, of course, cuts right there. And soon we arrive at the final episode for Season 1, Chapter 7, In the Name of Honor, which is directed by Robert Rodriguez. We got a scene where Boba Fett and Fennec Shand expecting the charred remains of the sanctuary until Mando arrives, telling them the news of Freetown. Soon, that's when they sense somebody coming, and it's turns out to be Cad Bane arriving. Well, almost. Well, I'm going way ahead of myself, so yeah, let's go back. Before that, things get into place, everybody's still freaky, the bomb and everything. Let's just say they expect the whole thing, but of course they go free time. Soon we cut a scene where Cad Bane arrives at Mos Eisley, where he meets with the leader of one of the leaders of the Pike Syndicate, including the mayor, where they're hiding at. That's when they mentioned that turns out that it was the Pikes who killed the Tusken tribes, both its Tusken tribe family, not the bikers. Which, of course, when Cad Bane asked if he knew about this, he said nope, because it was blamed on Necto speed bikers. Which, of course, Cad Bane uses as an opportunity. Soon, during the same night as well, we see an X-Wing arriving at Mos Eisley, which Peli knows it until it turns out to be Grogu, which was piloted by R2. And guess what he's wearing? The chainmail Beskar armor. And R2's getting feisty because he's in a hurry to say, hold on. Soon during the day, they're at the sanctuary, being prepared for everything. Everything's on set, everybody's in their place. The mods are at the worker district. The Gamorrean guards at the space at the edge of the top, and of course, Black Chrysanthemum is at where the city hall is, where the Trandoshans are. Soon, Cad Bane shows up. Both is about to talk. He only is going to talk to the Pikes, which of course, Cad Bane bomb drops that it was actually the Pikes who killed his Tusken family, which of course provokes Boba Fett he wants to blast Cad Bane, which of course Fennec Shand said no, doing it to their own time, which of course he doesn't. And soon, it turns out the other crime families have betrayed him because they already made a deal with the Pikes, and soon betrays Boba Fett. And things turn from hell. Soon, two of the Gamorrean guards are killed off when they're pushed off the cliff. Black Chrysanthemum has been overtaken by the Trandoshans. And of course the models are taking heavy fire, but Fennec Shand managed to help them by taking out some of the other gangs. As for Boba Fett and the Djarin, they're surrounded by a group of Pikes, but they still have the Major Domo, which of course Boba Fett managed to send him out as they surrender, but unfortunately it was a gag one. Tell him as he almost got... The Major Domo got killed, but Boba Fett and Mando saved his skin by shooting the Pikes while they're on jetpacks. And slowly they started to shoot everywhere until they were saved by members of Freetown. But soon, things go from bad to worse. Let's just say, Black Chrysanthemum arrives, but injured after his fight with the Trandoshan. Soon, things will go back from bad to worse when the Pikes bring out two Scorpionecks. Two shieldless Scorpionek droids. Or Scorpion droids for short, if you know what these things are. These were actually originally designed to appear in Star Wars Episode 2 during the Battle of Geonosis with the droid army. Along with the Hellfire droids, the Octo droids, as their heavy weapons droids. And these were made by the Techno Union, I believe. So they're remnants of the these are actually former Separatist droids that the Pikes managed to get their hands on. Which, of course, they had a lot of trouble dealing with the shield. Even Ben Jarn cannot even use the Dark Tier to cut the shield in half. But soon, the members of Freetown and Boba Fett and Din managed to get the droids to split up, which, of course, distracts one another. As Boba Fett, Din Djarin is leading the droid, distracting the droid, while Boba Fett is getting something. Pele shows up, and guess who she brings? Grogu. Which surprises Mando, which he didn't knew that. Which, of course, is just go hell. Literally, they're being chased by a scorpion droid. And, of course, they get blasted, and Pele loses a tooth. Soon, all things went froze when they hear a roar. And guess who shows up? Boba Fett riding a Rancor. Because he wanted to ride a Rancor, so he just brought the Rancor and mass destroyed the Scorpion droid. Soon, the other Scorpion droid is raising hell at the members of Freetown, and also half of the mods, since half of them were injured during the surprise attack from the others. Which, of course, the Rancor managed to defeat that one. Soon, Cad Bane shows up, scares the Rancor, causes Boba Fett to fall off, and of course, his Rancor starts to go on a rampage. Soon, Boba Fett has a standoff with Cad Bane, which, of course, Cad Bane manages to shoot first and hits him in the chest plate. He's about to kill him. First, he removed his helmet, which, of course, he's about to kill him. But Boba Fett managed to knock him off with using his gaffy stick and managed to kill him with one step after he stabbed him, which of course ending Cad Bane's life, as we're told. Soon the Rancor is on the loose, started to grow crazy, destroying the buildings. Mando tried to stop him, but unfortunately he gets grabbed by the creature about to get... Let's just say the Rancor tried to eat him, but Grogu managed to stop him by using the Force, which made the Rancor sleepy and fall asleep. And he sleeps right next to it. After that, we're at Mos Eisley, where the other crime leaders are hiding, until one by one, Fennec Shand kills everybody. Which, of course, Fett earns most of us denies in respect, admiration, and the family he wanted. After that, we see Din Djarin and Grogu fly away in their N1 starfighter. Which, of course, we see Grogu tapping the little, the silver ball, which is the remains of the, the Razor Crest, doing the, this. And Din Djarin say, no. Okay, but this is the last time. Which, of course, he presses the light speed button, which Grogu's squealing in joy as he likes it. Soon after that, we cut a mid-credit scene where we see Vamp heals and Fett's back to tank, with the mod artist standing nearby. I think he's about to repair him, give him new upgrades. So yeah. And people, that was the Book of Boba Fett. And as for the reception, it was actually pretty cool because most of it is actually pretty cool. Like, yeah. I think the most everybody's favorite song was the Book of Boba Fett theme, which it was done by Ludwig Göransson, which is the theme for the Book of Boba Fett from both in the ending credits. Was actually pretty cool. As for reception, it was actually pretty cool. There were mixed reviews, but people actually liked it. And also, it also concludes the spinoff for The Mandalorian Season 3 on where the Mando and Grogu head off next. But yeah, folks, and tell me what you think about the Book of Boba Fett. Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Do you think it's actually pretty cool? Hey, what you think of Boba Fett's return as a Daimyo now of Tatooine? Let me know in the comments down below, and until then, if you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe, hit the bell, so you'll miss any of our great content. Until then, have a great day, everybody. See ya, and peace out.